Lesson 185. I want the peace of God. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. So that's our lesson today. So of course everybody wants peace of mind. I don't know why it feels like a step up to say I want the peace of God. You know, like I just want to be at peace. I just want inner peace, right? Everyone can rattle those words off. But to mean them and mean the only peace of mind that I want is the peace of God. Like, I don't just want peace of mind that all my bills are paid or that, you know, this or that, our definition of peace. I want the peace of God. If you could but mean them for just an instant, there would be no further sorrow possible for you in any form, in any place or time. Heaven would be completely given back to full awareness, memory of God entirely restored, the resurrection of all creation fully recognized. If you could just mean these words, I want the peace of God. No one can mean these words and not be healed. So this is where like your level of sincerity will be obvious to you. Because if you are not having a true experience, do you really want the peace of God above all else? Above having a lover, above having great food, above having a new car. I mean, have you seen the Cadillac Blackwing? I'm just saying. I want the peace of God above all else. If I truly meant those words, I would be healed. He cannot play with dreams, nor think he is himself a dream. He cannot make a hell and think it real. He wants the peace of God, and it is given him. For that is all he wants, and that is all he will receive. Many have said these words, but few indeed have meant them. Right? Just look around. Even the Course says, you have but to look upon the world you see around you to be sure how very few there are. like look around. The world, if people could just say these words and mean them, the world would be completely changed. Should any two agree, these words express the only thing they want. So this lesson talks about two minds joining with one intent. If you and I could just mean these words, two minds with one intent become so strong that what they will becomes the will of God. Dun, dun, dun. For minds can only join in truth. In dreams, no two can share the same intent. So just going to stop right there because this is a good one for you to read and sit with and think about. But I really like thinking, do I really mean that? Or am I still chasing idols? Or is there still something I want? Or do I still want this or that? Or, you know, but more and more, everything outside of me is losing its luster. And I truly do only want the peace of God. Same as you. Jesus, for lesson 185, I want the peace of God. Mean these words and it will be given you. You must look within. You must look within and mean these words. This is the way home, and two minds joining with one intent ensures the way home for you. Looking outside of you, chasing idols, wanting this, wanting that, you start to see that illusions will not bring you peace anymore. You've been there, you've done that, and now you're still in the world, but you have become disillusioned because you know that peace is within. Peace is only within you. So investigate your inner landscape. Go on an internal journey now to find your free gifts that God has given you, the valuable things in life that you truly want: enthusiasm, peace, happiness, love, joy. These are the gifts within. The peace of God is within you, as well as creativity and inspiration, and yes, a quiet, peaceful mind. So when you look within and find the peace of God, you can sit in stillness and even in the world and know that all is as it should be. Jesus had a little even bit more to say than that. So I do hope that you're going to Tina Louise Spalding's channel, or I have a playlist of her videos on my page here, and hearing Jesus come through Tina for yourself. But yeah, I mean, I have acquired a lot in my life. Literally, I have everything that I want, that my ego wants. And this has been a really good experience for me because I have given my ego mind everything that it thinks that it wants. And I know that there's still more inside of me, right? So like it's a fun little way to have this experience and this journey, to be very super blessed, you know, by society's standards, and yet still know that if I don't have peace of mind, none of this stuff ain't shit. Do you know? So like, I have to have peace of mind. I want the peace of God. It's what I truly want. Ego kind of creeps in maybe at times, but more and more, I do become more sincere and mean the words that I say with our lesson today. To mean you want the peace of God is to renounce all dreams. For no one means these words who wants illusions, and who therefore seeks the means which bring illusions. I mean, it's a good time to self-reflect. He has looked on them and found them wanting. Now he seeks to go beyond them, recognizing that another dream would offer nothing more than all the others. Dreams are one to him, and he has learned their only difference is one of form. For one will bring the same despair and misery as do the rest. We're going to keep going here because it's good. The mind, which means that all it wants is peace, must join with other minds. Okay? For that is how peace is obtained. And when the wish for peace is genuine, the means for finding it is given in a form each mind that seeks for it in honesty can understand. Whatever form the lesson takes is planned for him in such a way that he cannot mistake it if his asking is sincere. But if he asks without sincerity, there is no form in which the lesson will meet with acceptance and be truly learned. So we're going to devote our practicing to recognizing that we really mean the words we say today. Okay? So be as sincere as you can be today. These words do not request another dream be given us. They do not ask for compromise, nor try to make another bargain in the hope that there may yet be one that can succeed where all the rest have failed. To mean these words acknowledges illusions are in vain, requesting the eternal in the place of shifting dreams which seem to change in what they offer, but are one in nothingness. So, I mean, a simple example for me is oracle cards and decks and tarot cards. I have a lot because it's like you think you need another one, or yeah. So it's like one more. And I've completely tested this theory out that like another one won't bring me anything new at this point. maybe for like 30 seconds. And that's about it. So people do this with drugs and alcohol and sex and whatever they look for, you know what I mean? Like another hit, another night out, another this, another that. And it's just one dream of illusion after another. And yeah, eventually you're going to want more than that. I still have my cards, but I know better now. I know that those are just things in the dream that, you know, I can pass the time with if I want. But a true valuable way to spend my time is going within me and connecting with you as well for our minds to join. Pathwaysoflight.org. Welcome to the reading, A Course in Miracles Workbook Lesson 185 Insights. I want the peace of God. One thing I find helpful is to ask myself frequently, what is my level of peace right now? Just asking the question helps because the question reminds me to take the time to open to peace more fully. Focusing on accepting peace brings me more peace. With peace comes a softening, a gentleness. The Course says peace and understanding come together and are never found alone. If ever I want understanding about a situation or circumstance, the way to get it is to first choose peace. When I consciously choose peace, my priorities seem to change. My perspective changes. I am reminded there is only eternal oneness, and the rest is dreams. What doesn't matter gently recedes and then disappears from my mind. Peace is the pathway of heaven. It opens my communication channels with the Holy Spirit and brings clarity to my mind. What I really need to remember from the Holy Spirit's perspective, I will remember. Today, I will practice accepting the peace of God. It is my one goal. This lesson is leading us to a unified priority, a singleness of mind. In an earlier lesson, we are told to examine our goals and points out that we will find, if we look deeply, we have goals that conflict with one another. This is why the ego thought system requires compromise. Within the thought system of separation, it is impossible to have a single goal that is wholly shared with another. As I examine the things I think will bring me happiness and comfort, I think I have many levels of goals. I do have goals of following Holy Spirit's lead and serving as His messenger, but I have to admit other goals can take over my attention. These goals are associated with forms of this world. I want certain things to happen or certain conditions to exist. The fulfillment of these goals is measured by what bodies do or what forms are present in the circumstance. These forms are nothing in themselves, but if I think the form in which they appear as my experience is what will make me happy, then I lose my focus on following Holy Spirit's lead. Form takes precedence over content, but form does not bring lasting peace because form is unstable and is always changing. The peace of God is eternal and changeless. To wholly want the peace of God, I must let go of needing any particular form to appear in my life. With the peace of God as my top priority, the forms needed in the moment to serve Holy Spirit's plan will be there. When they are no longer needed, they will go. There is no need to be bogged down with things that no longer serve. The path of peace is a light, unburdened path to light. The lesson says, if I want the peace of God, I will have it, which means if I don't have it, I don't really want it. This just astounds me. How could I not want the peace of God? I did as suggested in the lesson and thought of those things I want instead. I've tried to do this before, but without a lot of success. Thinking in terms of what comforts me made it easier. I was surprised at what came up. I was glad for the reminder not to look at some of them as shameful because that was my first reaction. For instance, I discovered a desire to be admired and respected by others. I would let my mind wander to other goals and would find, to my embarrassment, I was focused once again on some form of personal success which brings me recognition from others. There were other goals as well, other sources of comfort. But what I found myself wondering was why they are so hard to give up. When I offered them to Holy Spirit and asked for God's peace in return, I felt a lack of conviction. I didn't really want this, not entirely. And of course, wanting it entirely is how you get it. I let my mind wander over this terrain for a while, and I think the primary feeling I had was fear. What if I give these things to Holy Spirit? What will this feel like? Will the peace of God bring me the same high that success does? Of course, there won't be those long stretches of feeling incomplete and unfulfilled when I'm not flushed with success. And there won't be the uncertainty of not knowing what constitutes success at any given moment. But what would it feel like not to live on this roller coaster ride? High one day, low another. I had no idea I felt like this until I did this meditation. I expected to feel more confused and doubtful than before I started since nothing was settled. But when I examined my feelings, I found that I felt good about the meditation. I discovered something about myself I had kept hidden, that I was willing to take it out of the darkness and look at it in the light with Holy Spirit is a good sign. I trust Holy Spirit to help me with the next step. pathwaysoflight.org. So what is the next step for you? Searching your mind to see what you are hiding. Today, devote your practice periods to careful searching of your mind to find the dreams you cherish still. What do you ask for in your heart? Forget the words you use in making your requests. Consider but what you believe will comfort you and bring you happiness. But be you not dismayed by lingering illusions, for their form is not what matters now. So I'm sure there's something. Let not some dreams be more acceptable, reserving shame and secrecy for others. They are one, and being one question should be asked of all of them. Is this what I would have in place of heaven and the peace of God? It's a trick question. This is the choice you make. Be not deceived that it is otherwise. No compromise is possible in this. You choose God's peace or you have asked for dreams, and dreams will come as you requested them. Yet will God's peace come just as certainly and to remain with you forever. It will not be gone with every twist and turning of the road to reappear unrecognized in forms which shift and change with every step you take. So stability is in the peace of God. You want the peace of God. And so do all who seem to seek for dreams. So yeah, and it just goes on and on and on and on and on today. I want the peace of God. What's more important than the peace of God? That's essentially what this has been asking. Good news, again, No one who truly seeks the peace of God can fail to find it. So if you want it and you truly want it, you can have it. You just have to stop deceiving yourself. You just have to stop thinking some dumb little want or of a dream is more important than the peace of God. I mean, seriously, what could be more important than the peace of God? But that's how our minds work. So in this one intent we seek today, uniting our desires with the need of every heart, the call of every mind, the hope that lies beyond despair, the love attack would hide, the brotherhood that hate has sought to sever, but which still remains as God created it. With help like this beside us, can we fail today as we request the peace of God be given us? So that's that. That's the lesson today. There's a little bit more, so make sure you read it for yourself. Lesson 185, I want the peace of God. All right, so I'm going to share something new with you to end this. I was window shopping on thriftbooks.com, and I came across this book titled Songs for Miracles. ACIM Daily Poems by Leo Vidal. Okay, so I got it. And it is a massive book with 365 poems, one for each of the lessons. And you know how I love to rhyme, okay? So this is wonderful. You know that I love large font. Also wonderful. So today, for lesson 185, I want the peace of God. I'm going to read it, and that's how we're going to end. So I don't know if we'll do this every time. I don't know if I'm allowed to do it. I would have to ask Leo, I suppose. But isn't this so fun for me? It's such a big book, and I love poetry. So I'm going to read you the poem for today, lesson 185, I want the peace of God. Are you too weak to finally speak for what you seek? Please don't flaunt it if you want it. You can live it if you give it. You can be it if you see it. So conceive it and believe it, then receive it. God's serenity is your identity. Feel the balm of God's calm. Grab the feeling of God's healing. It's not a dream. It's what it seems. It's everything and the only thing. Do a task for it and ask for it. God's not distant in the holy instant. We're not sinners. We're all winners. You're not dreaming. You're not scheming. Your life has meaning. Don't compromise. Just realize it's no surprise. See with your eyes where heaven lies. Join together, live forever, love your brother, love each other. Find serenity in unity. God's reality now will be. God's glories now increase. His wonders never cease. You finally have his peace. Anyways, Leo, these are fabulous. Now, I did not know this until I got the book and just opened it up and read it. This book, he wrote in 2 months, like 365 poems. So he said, let's see here. The words in this book came to me effortlessly over a 2-month period. That's freaking wild. Like manna from heaven. I consider them a gift from God. So he'd been meditating for over 40 years. He's been studying A Course in Miracles. And then he just literally downloaded these poems in such a short amount of time. I mean, look how long it's been taking me to do these videos. years, because I just can't seem to stick with one a day, let alone pump out 365 poems in 2 months. I'm like so wowed by that. And they just all seem really great. He said, the poems are meant to be experienced in a joyful and fun way, which is why I call them songs. Don't think too much. Just enjoy them like you would a piece of music. The sounds of words can transform your world and transform your mind. I hope these songs will bring you such miracles. God gave me these songs, and I think it's because the course itself is long and somewhat dense. Perhaps the course and the lessons have been over-intellectualized. If just a few lines of the poems are meaningful to you and stay with you each day, then it is not a waste of time. Each day's poem is intended to help you experience light and truth and spirit. I sincerely hope you enjoy these songs and will use them to transform your world. May you experience miracles every day and be filled with joy forever as you hear the voice of God and learn to see with God's eyes. Leo J. Vidal, Ormond Beach, Florida, June 2016. So anyways, we'll see. I mean, this is so fun for me, like I said, because I'm just rhymey all the timey.